Hi everyone, it's Natasha and thank you so much for stopping by. So I'm doing my perfume collection, and I will also be mentioning my previous collection and the ones that I could only remember, and I don't really remember how many they are, from just speculation and assumption. And you know, I have a theory in my head. It's about 30 to 50 or a little bit more maybe, which is really scary, you know, because to be quite honest, nobody really needs that many perfumes. There is a shelf life on them, and if you do keep them correctly, which would be away from sunlight and kept in a cool area always, then this should last you even like 20 something years if it is kept correctly. If you don't, then in about a couple years it will probably go bad and go rancid. You know, if you just know how to, I think something's going on with my hair, but if you just actually know how to take care of it, you'll be fine. So if you don't know, I'm just gonna let you guys know, if you haven't seen other of my videos, I did purge pretty much all of my perfumes except for two. This has sentimental value to them because I had a family trip a really long time ago, and two of those people have already passed. And it was an international trip with my family, and I remember, I still love it. Like, I remember, I was really young when I got this. So I remember at the airport, and I don't know whose idea it was, but I remember going, I wanted to buy something at the airport because I have my vacation money. So I was really young, and this was let's see, this is called Ralph Lauren Romance Sparkling Mist Eau de Toilette, and I just haven't finished it. I've had this for a really long time, a really long time, and you know, this is one of the two, and this is the other one. This was I forgot, I think I bought this at a Nordstrom. This was like an impulse buy, and it's okay. This is Bright Crystal, so I will talk about that later on, but these are the only two that survived in my purge. There is no sentimental value to this one, but I do like the smell, and sometimes, because this is only an eau de toilette, and these are the only eau de toilette that I do still own. Everything else is eau de parfum. So sometimes I have used this as a room spray. Like I said, it doesn't have sentimental value. I keep it because I don't want to throw it out, but there are no ties for it. So I'm going to do, as much as possible, I'm going to do my previous perfumes or fragrances, because it's a mixture of eau de toilette as well as eau de parfum, and I don't even know, like, if I know which one it is, then I will let you know. If I don't, I really do apologize. It has been a really long time. A lot has happened. I've had a head trauma. I've given birth. A lot of my memory has been altered. So, and this is also in no means of any kind of rating or which one I bought first. There's no particular order. I will try to squeeze in a picture here if I can find it. If I cannot, they will be down below in the description box with links, so you can look at them if they are available. If not, then I do apologize for that, but I will list them down below, okay? So first on my list, and this was the only fragrance that was celebrity, it was Still by JLo. I know that Glow is probably, I think, her most popular fragrance, because there's so many flankers from Glow. I never liked Glow. My cousin loved Glow. I don't know if she still wears Glow, but when I was obsessed with Still, she was obsessed with Glow, and I never liked Glow, but Still I repurchased it a lot. I would say 3 to 4 times. I loved Still. That was, I think, that was a signature fragrance for a while, and I went to town with that. So I'm at a fragrantica.com. Just to give you guys what it was. So it says main accord is green, white floral, fresh spicy, fresh, and ozonic. So the little info is Still is very feminine, vivacious, clean, and sensual. The opening is luminous and gentle due to the notes of white pepper, mandarin, Earl Grey tea, and sake note. The heart note is composed of freesia, rose, jasmine, orange blossom, and lily of the valley. The base is warm and sensual with woody and musky notes. Sandalwood, musk, amber, orris, and pepper. The perfume was created by Michael Gerard in 2003. To be quite honest, I don't remember what it smells like. If you ask me now, I don't remember. What I do remember is I was so in love with this perfume, but it didn't really last long because it's a celebrity fragrance. I never was interested in any kind of celebrity fragrance or any kind of celebrity tied item, if that makes sense. But this was at a time that, and this one was the only one that I ever got that was celebrity fragrance. It had nothing to do with being a fan of J-Lo. I'm not like an avid fan. I am a fan, but not like, not like super fan. I enjoy her music. She's a very beautiful person. So it had nothing to do with that. It's just when I saw this bottle, I forgot where I bought it and kept buying it. I just loved it. I think it was an impulse buy at first. Let's see. I think the second, third, and probably fourth purchase, those were not impulse buys. That was my signature fragrance. I remember I already had maybe 20, 30 bottles at the time, and I did not use any other one except for that one. That was like every day. I think if I was able to bathe in it, I probably did, but I didn't. So I'm kind of happy that I didn't do that. Next on my list is Happy. Not the by Clinique, not the female, not for the women, but for the men. I don't know why, I just didn't like the female fragrance. I loved the male fragrance, and this one I also repurchased a lot. I would say I went through 3 bottles of this. After going through 3 bottles, that's when I'm like, I am done. I have done it. I can't use this anymore. I'm done. I don't know why it was like that, but it was. I enjoyed it so much. And it was also, let me check, because I'm also at fragrantica.com. And I remember this is a cologne. By Clinique is a citrus aromatic fragrance for men. Clinique Happy was launched in 1999. So it's kind of old. The notes are lime, green notes, mandarin, orange, lemon, and sea notes. Middle notes are freesia, jasmine, lily of the valley, and rose. Base notes are cypress, musk, guaiac. I don't know how to say that. Guaiac, wood, and cedar. It's not until lately that I prefer a newer fragrance, which has been released in the past 20 years. Or I prefer something in this millennium. Before then, I didn't care when it was released. If I smelled it and I loved it, I would use it. That was it. And now I kind of stayed away from that, because if I kept doing that, then I would probably have about 200 fragrances by now, which is not a healthy thing. I don't like hoarding in general, and I don't like to be associated with that. So I'm trying my best to keep my collection in which I do use all of them at a certain point in the year, and that it's not just gonna sit there and look pretty. So I remember I always had the Clinique Happy for men with me in my bag, and it was just so heavy because every time I would buy, it was always the biggest one. I think a lot of people do that because you think, you know, when you're thinking about it, it is cheaper when you buy a big one, but if you're not going to use the whole thing, then it will go to waste. But this one, and still I went through all of them, like to the, like I would keep on spritzing it, and I would, you know how you would turn the bottle where this plastic straw or whatever you call that, the straw for the vaporizer is. I would tilt it there until it was completely gone, and I would still kind of smell it, and I would keep it for a little bit. There was a time that I would, whenever I finished a perfume bottle, and this was when I was still living with my family, my parents, I had, my room was huge, so I would have one wall, like I think it was about a half of my wall for one wall. It was just, my mom got me shelves made, and one layer was just used perfumes, because empty perfume bottles, because the ones that still had a lot of juice in them, a lot of perfume in them, I kept them in my dresser. So those are just for the empty ones. Let's see, next would be, oh, I went to the wrong one. Next on my list is Euphoria by Calvin Klein. And just so you know, I don't believe I bought any of these when it was launched, and I don't remember when I did buy them, but this one, my husband, we were still dating at the time, he bought me the first bottle, and I loved it. This was my signature fragrance for a really long time. And at this time, I still had, I don't remember if I still had the Still, but I did not have the Happy anymore. And this was every day. Even when I would be at home, I would still use it, because I would just do this or do that, like just sniff it. Right now I have a different perfume, so oh my gosh, it smells so good. But anyway, this was just incredibly sexy. I went through 5 bottles, at least a minimum. Yeah, 5 bottles that I did finish. The 6th bottle that I bought this, that one I didn't give it away. I think I used that to make it into a room spray. This was when I was getting sick all the time, and I didn't know it was caused by black mold. And that was why, because as soon as I would smell this is my signature for perfume, I would get like a head cold essentially. So I had to get rid of it. Now it just, I feel like it's tainted and connected to the black mold. So I don't really, I went to Macy's, I think a few months ago, and I smelled it, and I'm like, I just picture getting sick all the time. I picture going to the doctor at least twice a month. I picture not being able to breathe in the middle of the night. So I'm just like, I'm sorry, bye. So this one says exotic fruit. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm dyslexic, so when I'm gonna read certain things, it might get jumbled, but I'm gonna try my very best to not do that right now. Exotic floral fruity fragrance. Euphoria was launched in 2005. The fragrance is luminous and luscious like fruits. It actually says fruits. I would probably say luscious like fruit notes, but I think they do mean multiple fruits. So fruits notes of which are captured in it. Euphoria is mysterious and appealing like dark exotic flowers. It invites you to enjoy joys of life. The main notes are rosehip, Japanese apple, green leaves, lotus, black orchid, redwoods, black violet, and amber. Euphoria was created by Dominique Ropion, Carlos Benim, and Loc Dong in 2005. So the main accords are woody, floral, powdery, sweet, and amber. I remember just using this so much. I do not remember what it smells like at all. When I do smell it from the bottle, I'm like, oh, that's familiar. I did have this. But if you ask me right now, I'm not going to remember any of that at all. It's just, whew. So, let's see. Next is Cool Water by Davidoff. This was very popular, I would say. At a certain point, I think, yeah. I think at a certain point in your life, this becomes popular with your peers, and you smell it off someone, and you're like incredibly mesmerized by the smell, especially when you have more than one class together, and you just keep smelling it and you're obsessed, and that's what made me buy it. So, actually, it was 2 friends bought it in one day, and then I'm like, I hate you guys. And I forgot what happened. I think another friend bought it the following week, and I couldn't stop myself. I just went to the store and I bought it. So this is aquatic, floral, fruity, ozonic, fresh, sweet. 10 years after the successful launch of Cool Water for Men, a women's version was finally released. The scent is very calm and with aquatic notes that remind us of ocean breeze and cool seawater, fruits, and woods. Top notes are luscious, cool, and aquatic with citrus, honeydew melon. That's where you get the sweetness from, I think. Quince, I don't know what that is. Pineapple, lotus, and lily. Heart notes are gentle flowers, May rose, jasmine, and Mue. I don't know how to say that. Base notes are musk, vanilla, peach, sandalwood, orris, and veldiver. I don't know. Veldiver. Cool Water was created by Pierre Baudon in 1996. So I guess this launched after that. I don't ever remember buying anything that just launched in this era of fragrances in my life. So I don't believe I bought it around that time. Probably after. Yeah, probably after. So after that, I went through a phase in which I couldn't handle any kind of perfume. So I went through the all natural route, which would be the beauty brand Pacifica, and Island Vanilla was one of them. And I was just in love with it. I remember at this particular time, I was more into natural scents because I could tolerate them. I still missed having perfumes and you know, fragrances. So I did that, and it wouldn't last that long, but you know, you'd be surprised. It will last quite a while, and they only sell it in 1 fluid ounce. However, it's a little pricey. It's a little pricey for 1 fluid ounce because I think it's like $20 or $30 for something that's not, you know, that's like a niche kind of fragrance, I would say, or similar to the L'Occitane fragrances, or Crabtree and Evelyn, or Savon. So if you look at it in that aspect, it might be a little pricey because I think because I'm used to designer fragrances, and I think that's probably why I think it is pricey, because now that I think about it, $20-something is not really that bad, but it is only for 1 fluid ounce, and I did go through it pretty fast. I just kind of breezed it. The Island Vanilla, it was kind of like, it was similar to, I wouldn't say it was Island Vanilla. No, I think I'm thinking of something else. Let me just double check that. Let me check that. Okay, so the Island Vanilla, it says vanilla, sweet, honey, powdery, fruity. Island Vanilla by Pacifica is an oriental vanilla fragrance for women. Island Vanilla was launched in 2012. The notes behind this fragrance is Brooke Harvey Taylor. The fragrance features jasmine, vanilla, tea, white honey, and fruity notes. It smells very creamy, like vanilla ice cream. And I remember when I was, because I also had the body butter with it, I remember people would just come up to me and say, oh my God, you smell delicious. And so Island Vanilla by Pacifica, it says the notes are vanilla, sweet, honey, powdery, fruity. This was launched in 2012, and from what I remember, when I would use it, a lot of people would say, because they didn't think it was me, so they would say, something smells delicious. And I remember there were 3 people that actually followed me around and said, is that you? Anyway, so I said, yes, that was me. And they said, you smell like vanilla ice cream or a cake, like frosting on a cake. And I just kind of smiled. The longevity of this wasn't very good, so I think that's why I thought it was rather expensive, because it would only last maybe about an hour on me. And even on clothes, it really didn't, the lasting power wasn't really very high, so I didn't buy this. This was not a repeat buy at all. At a certain point, because I brought this with me everywhere, because it's so small. It was like this kind of bottle. It was really small, 1 fluid ounce. It didn't have a cap. It was really cute. It was really pretty. However, you know, sometimes niche fragrances like this, sometimes it just doesn't work. It's just not up to par to my standards. I guess I would say that. Oh, it's getting kind of dark. Hold on. So, that was the first one from Pacifica. I also did Persian Rose. I wasn't impressed with the Persian Rose because it kind of smelled old lady-ish. So the main accords says rose, fruity, balsamic, sweet, smoky. Yeah, I can smell a little bit of balsamic in there and the rose. Excuse me, I didn't smell anything fruity. It was one of those that it was one of those fragrances when you smell it sometimes first, it smells really good. But then the more you smell it, the more you use it, you kind of notice different things in it. And the other aspects of it, I didn't really appreciate. It really kind of smelled to me like it was a little bit more mature for my taste. I remember when I used it, someone actually was, I think someone, and I already noticed it, and someone made a comment, because I just want to get rid of it, and someone made a comment, they didn't know it was me, and they're like, what is that weird, rosy, old lady smell? And I was thinking, that's me. I didn't really go and, you know, I didn't go like, oh, that's me, you know, I didn't do any of that, but, yeah, it was like that. The lotion, it's weird because the lotion smelled exactly the same, or the body butter. However, I don't know why the perfume would have like a different take on the same fragrance. I don't know why. So that was also not a repeat purchase. I then also bought, I had 3 from Pacifica, a Tahitian Gardenia. This was very cloying to me, very thick. The thing that I remember from this, it smelled good from the bottle, but when I sprayed it about an hour later or maybe half hour later, I was getting congested. I couldn't use it anymore. And I don't know if, and I think it really kind of ruined my approach to gardenia fragrances because of that. And I'm thinking of giving gardenia fragrances a different chance, just like the one from Marc Jacobs, which is only in Sephora, or the gardenia fragrance from Hermes. However, I actually went to Neiman Marcus, I think yesterday or the other day, and I was looking at the Hermes counter. I didn't notice the Gardenia one. Maybe they don't sell it anymore. I don't know. But I don't know. It's just every time I do seek it out, I can't find that. I also didn't go to a Sephora that day, so that could be it. But I gave that away. And I did ask that person about a couple months later if they enjoyed it, and she claimed she did, but I never smelled her using it ever. So I don't know when she was using it, because it's not like a special occasion fragrance to me, I guess, because maybe I'm just really a fragrance snob. I think I'm a fragrance snob because someone actually told me that I was a fragrance snob because I don't really go for niche fragrances anymore. I don't like certain types of fragrances. They're like, whatever I prefer. It's not like I'm saying you guys should buy that. It's just my personal preference. I think I just prefer a more designer, luxury kind of brand. If you hear something that's my husband watching him over here and like, so anyway, next is Princess by Vera Wang. I was obsessed with this. I think everybody was obsessed with this when they were younger. And I remember smelling this a year or two ago again. And I'm like, oh my God, please, please, please. I don't want to buy this again. I don't want to buy this again. I think I went through 3 bottles of this. So it says main accord, sweet vanilla, cacao, fruity, white floral. This is a beautiful fragrance. If you have a daughter or a niece, or someone that's close to your heart, that's you're really close to, and they're about 8 years old, 9 years old, 10, 12, like that kind of age, and they're okay to get a perfume, it's that, or this is actually an eau de toilette. If they're at that age that either their parents are okay with it, or if that's your daughter, you're okay with them having their own fragrance, this is definitely a good one. It is so youthful. It is just so beautiful. But even if you're you're 18 or 20, I think you can still do this. Like, it's such a beautiful fragrance, but it has that beautiful innocence in it that that can be okay for such a young girl. To me, anyway, if I had a daughter, she was 7 or 8 or 9, and she's interested in it, and she wants to get her first fragrance, I would probably gift her this. This is my take to it. Or something similar to this. Like, if she wanted something a little bit more modern, I guess, at the time, she's more concerned about, like, I want a new one. I want something that's been released the past year. Then I'll probably research on something different, but this is definitely still on the table. So, Oriental Floral Fragrance launched in 2006 as a modern and playful magic elixir. It celebrates youth and femininity in its top notes that bring the aquatic nuances with pure and sharp notes of water lily, apple, freshly sweet mandarin, and apricot. The Princess was created by Elias Armedinis and Harry Fremont. This is such a beautiful fragrance. It is also such a beautiful bottle because of the crown on the top. And it's all, and what is it? Doesn't it come with, like, you take it off and it becomes a ring and you can wear it? I think this is it, but I'm not sure. I don't remember anymore. I don't remember because it's not a perfume. I remember that's why I went through a few bottles, because it probably lasts on you like an hour, if you're lucky 2 hours, and then you're like that was how I would put it on, like, and then I would put it on the back just to make sure, like, wherever the wind would go, you'd smell Princess on me. But that was how I was with eau de toilette, though. It's not just it's not just because of this, but this was really beautiful. I remember some good times with this. A lot of good times. So, let's see. Next, I have Ralph by Ralph Lauren. Or Ralph by Ralph Lauren. I think it's just Ralph Lauren. Like, come on. You know what I mean? I had the blue bottle, and I actually just threw or emptied the blue bottle last year or 2 years ago. So the main accords are floral, fruity, citrus, green, and fresh. I remember when I had this, I did not repurchase this though. When I had this, I remember whenever I was wearing sneakers, I would always pair it with this one. I don't know why, but I would. Like, if I went to the tennis court, if I was, you know, I felt like if I was being sporty that day, this would be what I would wear. It could be the blue bottle. I don't know. It says it's floral, fruity, citrus, green, and fresh. I don't know if I said that already. So this was launched in 2000. That's all I remember of that, which is kind of strange because I had this for a few years. And a lot happened in my life in those few years, but I don't remember a lot. Next, I have Gucci 2. I actually had 2 bottles of this. I have the small one, and then I had the big one. A lot of people still love this perfume. I do not. And this is one of my first eau de parfum. No, now that no, this is not one of my first. This is one of my first when I was in college, maybe. A lot of people still really like this fragrance. I do not. I remember I was obsessed with this. I would spray this when I was at home. And I had the small bottle. I think it was the 1 fluid ounce or the 1.7. Because the biggest one, it's a big square and it's really heavy. And I had the skinny vertical, and the top was also square. It wasn't round anymore. And I would have that in my purse. And the big one I always kept in my room. I do not remember what this smells like. I have no desire to want to. I have no desire to want to buy it or interested in wanting to smell it again. Even though this was released in the past, in this millennium, I'm just not interested. I think because I remember at the end of, I think I used maybe half of it or 3/4. I was kind of like, I don't like that perfume anymore. And I made it into a room spray. Yeah, I made it into a room spray. I'm like, I'm over it. At the beginning, I had 2. I had to make sure I had a travel version and also the one that I kept at home. And I did spray that around. I sprayed it on my pillow. But I got very, very tired of it. And this is why I changed my lifestyle in that way. That I'm not going to be very wasteful, because I feel like that kind of, like how I was very wasteful in that sense, and I just didn't want that anymore. I didn't want to be like looking at, like how I am with my bags now. I'm not like that anymore. I used to be. And I would look at it and you feel like this dread of, oh my God, I can't believe like I have this many, it really didn't hit me until I was moving so often and I had to pack so many things and then unpack them, and that was really like, right now I'm feeling anxious. Like it's not something that there's so many people out there that have 200 bottles of fragrances. That's their prerogative. I just decided not to do that anymore. So next on my list is Very Irresistible by Givenchy. And this was a gift from a friend. So it says main accords, rose, floral, soft, spicy, fresh, aromatic, citrus. I think I bought a second bottle of this. The second bottle I couldn't finish because I was going through the getting sick all the time. So I gave this to a friend who I don't think we're friends anymore, which I don't know why. She has a kind of a dramatic lifestyle, so I don't know what's going on with her. So I gave her, I think it's still half the bottle, like maybe a little bit under half. It was still pretty good. And so I guess this was launched in 2003. I don't remember when I purchased the second bottle, but well, the first one I didn't remember either. Like I said, it was a gift from a friend, and I finished my first bottle, and I'm like, it smells really good, and I want to, you know, buy it again. And I did, and you know, I didn't like it anymore, and so I gave it away. So the next one up is Daisy by Marc Jacobs. I was obsessed with this fragrance. And the reason I didn't repurchase it is because it only came in eau de toilette. It never came with eau de parfum. And this didn't last very long on me, clothes or skin, but it smelled so good. So I would always put it in my purse, and because it was the bad thing about it was very chunky and very heavy, but it was such a beautiful bottle. I think the cap really kind of solidified the beauty of it, and every time I looked at the bottle, I'm like, oh my God, it reminds me of just daisies or flowers. And it was like this sweet, flowery or like floral scent, and clean and fresh, youthful, innocent. Like, it had that squeaky clean smell to that. This would be the same genre I would suggest for very young girls. I didn't get this when I was 6 or anything. But if there was like a young girl, you have a daughter, a niece, you know, one of those. If you have granddaughter, you know a little girl or a young girl that was interested in fragrances, this is a good idea to give her. It's very, very beautiful. It's very innocent. It's very clean. I remember using this in a lot of like summertime, spring, summer. Picturing like, you know, you go to the pool, you go to the, you hang out around the pool, you hang out around like if you're having a barbecue or garden party. It's a very clean fragrance. I associate it with outdoors essentially, and I don't know, I just have a lot of fond memories with this cologne, with this fragrance. It just makes me smile. I think the smell of it makes me smile a lot. And like I said, if they had the eau de parfum version, I would still repurchase it today, but sadly it's only an eau de toilette. And I still remember going to the store, and I don't remember which store it was. I don't know if it was Sephora, Macy's, Nordstrom, Saks, Neiman Marcus, Bloomingdale's, or JCPenney. Did I even go there? I don't know which one of those, but I remember asking, and I said, do you have an eau de parfum version of this? And I forgot which one that said, I'm sorry, honey, this is just in the cologne version. And I said, that's too bad. And then I remember she said, you know what, I hear that a lot, because it is such a good fragrance. It just doesn't last very long because it's not a perfume. And I said, I know, so I'm just not gonna buy that. So next is Miracle by Lancome. The main accords are fresh, spicy, floral, a fruity, tropical, aquatic, wet, floral. And I guess this was launched in 2000. I don't remember if I finished this bottle. If I did, I probably just made it into a room spray. I remember in the very beginning, I was obsessed with it. I brought it with me everywhere, and something happened. I used almost a half of it. It could have been I fell in love with a different fragrance or I got sick of it. It's one of the two. Because when I still lived with my family, and I have a huge family, and now I live like a different, very, very far from them. At least twice a year, I would get fragrance as a gift by different people. So just imagine I would get 2 presents that are fragrances at least twice a year. Sometimes more than one or 2 people would give me that for my birthday one and for Christmas one, and then I would buy some. So just imagine a minimum of 2 a year, and sometimes I would just go and buy one, or I don't know. I'm being nice and saying one, but it's probably not true. I probably did more than one. I remember seeing this at the store. I didn't get this when it first launched. I remember getting it years and years after. I didn't like it when it first came out. I didn't hate it, but it was like, okay. It wasn't like something I really wanted to buy. And I think I was gifted this. And I think this was just an eau de toilette, if I remember. I don't think this is an eau de parfum. Yeah. So, this is a very crisp, very light, very, I think, floral. So it's more, it really is more of a spring kind of smell to me. Spring, summer. And I don't know, it got kind of boring for me. So, yeah, I don't remember how I finished it. I don't remember if I gave it away. I could have. But there was a time that I didn't really want to do that because I wanted to keep the bottles. And it's kind of weird to gift someone and say, can I just get the bottle when you're done? Because you never know when they're going to finish it, you know? And you're making it seem like, can you finish that in a week? And next I have is So First by Van Cleef & Arpels. This was recent, I think. This was released in 2016. This was disgusting. So I was researching and I thought the bottle was just so uniquely elegant. It was very simple but very elegant with the teardrop kind of shape to that. So the main accords are vanilla, white floral, such as powdery. It smells like fake sugar or cheap, very, very cheap, sweet fragrance, like trashy stripper kind of, but not in a sexy way, more like plasticky, cheap. Like this should have been $10 for 10 ounces type of fragrance. And of course, I did this as a blind buy, and it was the biggest bottle because I'm like, well, they had a really good review on it, and everyone's saying it's so beautiful. I smelled it. It's disgusting. I finished this in a week. I sprayed this in every room of my house, even the basement. I sprayed it on my dog. It's not good. I don't like it. If anyone likes it, this is your signature scent, I'm sorry. To me, it smelled like cheap plastic sugar, like so horrible. And it shocks me because Van Cleef & Arpels is such a big company, you know, like they're luxury brand. And to release this type of fragrance, I was somewhat offended in a way. So that was disgusting. Yuck. Makes me gag just thinking about it. Next was White Diamonds by Elizabeth Taylor. This was a gift. I was 12. Yeah, I was 12. Someone gave this to me for my birthday or Christmas. It wasn't the biggest bottle. It was, I think, the 1 fluid ounce or the 1.7. It was incredibly potent for me. It was very strong. I used it a few times, and I don't remember what I did. I think I gave it to someone that was more mature because I was really, really young. But because it was a gift, I don't remember if I gave it to a gift. I gave it as a gift to someone, and I said, you know, it's their secret. Don't ever say that I gave it to you. Or I just kind of used it as a room spray. and threw it out. One of the two. So next is Chris 1947 by Christian Dior, or Christian Dior. I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's Christian Dior. So it's Chris 1947. Anyway, so I was on Chris 1947. This was released in, 2003. I still remember going to, I forgot which store I went to, and how was it, the Christian Dior counter. And I remember the essay goes, this is our limited edition. And I smelled it, and I'm like so in love with it. And I think this was like an eau de toilette, if I'm not mistaken. I went through 3 bottles. I love this. It didn't last very long because it was an eau de toilette, and it was, yeah, limited edition. And I remember after that, I couldn't find it anymore. I think the following year, I was gonna get a 4th bottle, and I couldn't find it. And also, this was only available in the 50 milliliter or 1.7 fluid ounces. You could not get it in a bigger size. I don't know why. The bottle was very simple, similar to a Chanel bottle. However, it was more of an oval shape instead of a rectangular shape. But it was very, very simple, and the smell is just so beautiful. Okay, so next is L'Eau d'Issy by Yaki. I got a smaller bottle for this, and I remember it felt like a step up of Cool Waters, you know? It wasn't that far from it. And so to me, I'm like, eh. And that was a very good decision on my end, because I don't think I finished the bottle, and I have no desire to purchase it ever. I have no desire to repurchase it. So that was a very good decision to me. My first ever Dolce & Gabbana perfume was Polyfoam by Dolce & Gabbana. My husband claimed he purchased a bottle for me of this, which I do not remember, but he claims he did. He said he got me this because we went somewhere, and he said he saw my face when I smelled it, and that later, I don't remember this. This was from him supposedly. Later on, he said that I was talking about it, and it smells so good. I don't even remember what it smells like, to be honest. I remember going to the store this month or last month, and I smelled this, I think, and it was kind of familiar, you know, but I don't remember what I did with it. It's a very simple looking bottle, and it was okay, I think. I don't know. I think there have been a lot of memories in my life that have been kind of just taken off from my accident, and so this is probably one of them. It said it was released 2012 in July. I still see these in the stores, so it's not discontinued yet. Next is La Patti Robe Noir, the original one. I got the 1 fluid ounce. It was okay. It was very cute and innocent and beautiful and sweet. However, I prefer the one of the flankers from it, but this one is definitely a more nuttier smell to it. I did finish it very fast. Yeah, kind of really fast. I finished it really fast, and I think when I was ready to purchase it again and purchase the big bottle, I discovered that they had the La Patti Robe Noir Couture, and this is it. And this, oh my god, whoever wears this very sultry, very sensual, very sexy dress, that's how I think the fragrance smells. It's just that beautiful and that sexy that I prefer this one, because the original one was just that cute little black dress with the baby doll top design, and it does fit that kind of dress. And yeah, it still is very beautiful, but you know, I thought if it was completely very different, there's a lot of similarities to it, and this one I just prefer than that one, so I didn't repurchase that. I purchased this one. Yep, and I do use it a lot. So next would be, and I will talk about that later on because that is in my current list. Next would be Weekend by Burberry. Weekend for Women. This was originally my mom's. She was so weird. She would buy perfumes and she would get them as gifts, and if she buys them, she'll use it for a few months and then she'll get sick of it, because then she'll complain. She's like, oh my gosh, my sinuses got clogged up, do you want the perfume? And I'm like, all right, because she said, and she would always give me like a passive aggressive threat, if you're not gonna take it, I'm gonna give it away. So of course, you know, dummy, I was, all right, I'll take it. And I never really used it. I remember kind of forcing myself to use it because I felt kind of bad not using it, if that makes any sense. I felt guilty not being able to use it and just sitting on my dresser, so I used it, but I never finished it. I never really liked it. Until today, I still do not like any Burberry fragrances. I also have the Burberry London by Burberry. That was also from my mother, and she used it once or twice. I don't remember if it was a gift to her or if she bought it. And it's the same excuse. It smelled so good at the store, so I had to buy it. But I don't like it anymore. Do you want it? I need more room for whatever she was gonna get. So of course I took it. I think I lost this in one of my moving. And one of the times I moved. Moving. I don't know if I gave this away or if I just plainly lost it. I don't remember what it smells like. I remember having Karolina Herrera's 212 H2O, and it came in this cute glass bottle, and the inside, when you open it, was one of those two globes in the side, and it was like, so it was cylindrical in the middle. It was green, and I think I bought it 3 times total. That was also a signature scent at some point. I had a lot of signature scents. And I remember I would keep it in my bag because it was like this big. It wasn't very heavy because it was cute. And then when that was over, you had a different one. You had a secondary one, so I brought that too. It didn't have a cap, but the cap was the cylinder that was in between it. Next would be Sunflowers by Elizabeth Arden. Oh my god. This was also my mom's first. And she said it was too sweet for her and too young. I remember I was really young when I got this. Let me just double check. Just to kind of have a little bit of an idea on it. So it's Elizabeth Arden, and it says main accord, citrus, fruity, woody, floral, fresh, white floral. This was released in 1993. I remember smelling this when I was really young, and I don't think I liked it at first, but you know, I grew up and I'm like, yes, this is also one of those perfumes. This is a cologne. So this is one of those fragrances that is very similar to Princess and Daisy. It's one of those very sweet, young, innocent, happy fragrances that little girls or young women or young girls would be okay to wear. Like if they're 10 years old, 8 years old or something, like this would definitely be fine to wear. You don't want them to wear something sexy, you know what I mean? So this is something very safe, very fresh, just very, very pretty, just innocent and just pure. I was obsessed with this. I remember she had a half bottle left, and I remember I took it, and no. We were going to like a fancy dinner, a dinner party, I think, and I remember trying to leave her room, and she said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm gonna go get some perfume or cologne." She said, "You haven't sprayed yet?" I said, "No." She said, "Why don't you just pick whatever in my, in my stash?" So I saw this, and I didn't remember about it, and I smelled it, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, can I use this?" She goes, "That's kind of for like a daytime wear." And I'm like, "It smells so good. I want it. She goes, "You can have it." And I'm like, "All of it?" She says, "Yeah, just take it. I don't want that anymore." So I took it. I remember slipping it in my cute little pouch purse, and that was mine from then on. I did not repurchase this, I think. I don't know why. Now I know why. The longevity of it was not very powerful, and that's why I just don't want to. I don't like the toilets anymore. I remember I used this pretty fast because you spray it in about 1 to 2 hours, it is completely gone. Even though the way I would spray out of toilets was and then spray my back, and 2 hours it's gone. So I'm like, I don't want to do that again. But if my mom bought it again and she got sick of it again, then I would have taken it, but I wouldn't have gotten it for me. And next is Halston Classic by Halston. I don't remember when I got this, but I didn't realize this was made in the 50s. Someone introduced this to me, and for whatever reason, I thought it was just so beautiful. It was very beautiful, very sexy. This was one of my first kind of woman kind of perfume in that category. That to me is like graduating from Princess, Sunflower, and Daisy type of fragrance. To me, when I say that, it's more like you're in your 20s, and this could be the range of early 20s to 50s kind of range. Like you're a woman, you've reached a certain age. This will make, to me, it was like, I want to be taken seriously, so I want to wear something a little bit more serious, and this is what I picked. I don't remember actually finishing the bottle on me. I made it into a room spray that I remember. And the reason for that was I loved it until I went through half of it, and then I got sick of it and kind of thought it was a little bit too strong for me. Which it really is. It's because it's a bit more for a mature taste. So I didn't really use some of it. I would think maybe 1/4 to 1/2 of the bottle left. I didn't really use in more. In the beginning, though, I really thought it was such a beautiful fragrance, and I loved it until a certain point, and I'm like, eh. Last on my list that I can remember is Pleasures by Estee Lauder. This was, again, a hand-me-down from my mom. She had it, and she used some of it, and I asked her about it. I said, "Oh, I'm really into this particular fragrance right now. Is it, can I use it?" And I remember using it so often. And she said, "You know what? Just take it. I don't really use it, and you seem to use it all the time. You can have it." I don't remember if this was, it said it's floral, green, white floral, fresh rose. I don't remember if this was an eau de toilette or a parfum. I don't remember the longevity. It was kind of long ago. So that was my previous collection. My current collection is with no order whatsoever. And I do apologize if you had to wait through that. But I kind of felt like the previous fragrances that I had, I did love them at a certain point. I enjoyed them at a certain point. So I do feel like I should mention them at least. I feel like I owe it to them in a way. So this is in no particular order. I'm just going to grab one. This is Ange au Démon Le Secret by Givenchy. I did make a review of this. I was obsessed, excuse me, if you can see about half of the bottle is gone. I was obsessed with this, and when I first smelled this in Ulta, to me it smelled like heaven. I was obsessed with this, and I wore this every day. However, even though it's an eau de parfum, it doesn't last very long on me. It only lasts for a few hours. So if I do wear this before I leave the house, I bring this with me. And if I can't, then I'm really like having this scowl. And like if I'm gone all day, I'll have a scowl. I knew I should have. Like in my head, it's like I know I should have brought the bottle with me, because I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I should have brought the bottle. Why didn't I? When I could. But sometimes, because this is such a light, crisp fragrance, I usually wear this in the warm months. So usually at the time I prefer a smaller bag, which does not have any room for something this huge in my bag. So let's see. This is the eau de parfum. Because there's just different kinds to that. I don't like different bottles. So this is eau de parfum. This was released, I don't know, relaunched in 2009. I don't even know when this was released, but I did buy this a few years ago. I don't know if it was released I don't think it was released that year, but I did get it a few years ago. Do I recommend this? Not really, because of the longevity. But if you don't really care about that, you just care about like a light, crisp, clean scent, yeah, this is a really beautiful scent. Again, when I first smelled this, to me it smelled like heaven on earth. I don't think that anymore. I think just because of the longevity. So that's one. Next would be Romance Sparkling Mist, Ralph Lauren. Oh my god, that is beautiful. This one is definitely, it does smell like how it's called. It does smell, it's very romantic. It's very fresh. It's very sparkling in a way, if that makes any sense. It smells like crisp, fresh, clean, floral, citrusy, and light, all mixed into one. So a lot of times I do just put this on when I'm at home because it's very light, and I still have half the bottle. Like I said, I use this sparingly because I have a lot of sentimental value with it. But, you know, I mean, when I go to like stores and I look for that, I never could see that. Because supposedly when I did buy that, it was supposedly a limited edition. And I could never buy it. I mean, I look at Amazon, I'm looking at Amazon right now, I can't find it. So it's just one of those things, you know, like it was meant to be. And I kind of regret now getting the eau de toilette version versus the eau de parfum. I don't know if it does come with an eau de parfum formulation or just an eau de toilette. So that's the part that I'm kind of, I think it just comes in an eau de toilette, because everywhere I look on eBay right now, I'm looking at Amazon, and they're all eau de toilette. There is no eau de parfum. So I think when I do finish this, if I decide, I will keep the bottle. This versus the original Romance, because this is a flanker. If you can see it, it's kind of pinkish. That's not my shirt. Okay, that's not my sweater. That's just how the bottle kind of looks. It's like it has a little bit of a blush to it. It's not very, very deep pink. The Romance bottle is definitely just completely clear. So that's the second one I'm going to show you guys. The third one I already showed you guys is Versace Bright Crystal. This is the Eau de Toilette version. And I'm glad that I did get the Eau de Toilette version, so I can kind of get rid of this soon. I think I'll make this into a room spray because it's okay, really. But the Romance is definitely, it's similar to this kind of fragrance, and also with the Ange Eau de Monde. However, this is kind of inferior versus the other two, so I'm not really, I don't know, I'm not really a big fan. Maybe it's because it's the Eau de Toilette, but I did smell the Eau de Parfum and still not a big fan. Okay, so next would be Miss Dior. This is, let me double check the year this was released, because this is not the 2017 release, which I am going to make a fragrance review episode of that, because I did ask for a sample size. This is a 2012. I didn't get this in 2012, but this is a 2012 release. I love it. The difference between this one and the 2017 is, if you can see it, it has a peachy color. It's an orange peachy color. The 2017 release is a pink color. So that's the difference to that. And this was also released before the 2012, I believe. Let's see. I know before the 2012, I smelled a previous one, and it was, let me just double check the year to that one. Okay. So I remember there was a Miss Dior, and it was just Miss Dior. I can't find it. Miss Dior, and it had a different scent to it. Very different. It was powdery. Because this is, they reformulated this so many times. Okay, so, let's see. I'm looking at it right now. Okay. Miss Dior, Le Parfum. Let's see. I don't know which one I smelled before. I can't find it in Fragrantica. I'm sorry, you guys. I can't find it. If I do find it, I will link it down below on what I'm talking about. But that one had a more powdery smell to that, and I didn't like it. And it was in Ulta, and then I smelled this, and I'm like, oh my god, I couldn't stop myself. I kept smelling myself. And I remember spraying it on a piece of paper, or was it on me? And I walked around at the store, and I'm like, this is so good. And this is how I usually do before I purchase a fragrance, except for the rare occasions of the blind buy and the impulse, like the Chris 1947. I usually want to test it out, and that's why I usually, every time I go in a store, I ask for a sample so I can sample it at home, do my daily routine, or go out and see the sillage, the longevity, the lifespan of it, and weigh the pros and cons if I will like to buy it. So, but you know, I went to, oh my gosh, Macy's. They are like vultures. They're not going to give you a lot of samples unless you buy something or give them your firstborn. Sephora is really good. They kept up at 3 samples. Neiman Marcus was the best, and they would give you whatever you wanted. And it kind of made me not ask for so many, even though I really didn't want to ask for so many. But when I was at Macy's, because they were so stingy on their samples, it made me want to get all the samples, even though I didn't want them. Make sense? So, the bad thing about it is that they've already reformulated this, and to actually, when I do finish this, if I want to buy this again, I would probably have to go to Amazon, which have the best prices anyway, and have to go through a lot of reviews and see if, you know, if you're getting a legit one or not. I won't be able to get this at at like Christian Dior or Neiman Marcus or Macy's or stuff like that. They only would sell whatever's current, which would be the 2017. Next would be Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. Oh my god, I love this so much. And I bought this, I don't remember if I bought this before or after they did the 5 fluid ounce bottle, which is so big and beautiful. But if you can see, I did use already a lot of this. The beauty about Miss Dior and Coco Mademoiselle, you spray this once, twice, you spray 2 spritzes, and it would be like so much. It would be too much. It'd be really, really potent. If you only do the one, especially Chanel Coco Mademoiselle, if you do the one, you're good for the day. And if you put it on clothes, you'll be able to smell it a few days after. Same with Miss Dior. I love both of these fragrances. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back to Miss Dior. So, I don't know why, but this was my signature fragrance for about a year. It smells so classy, so elegant, so beautiful. It lasts a really long time. I like how simple and elegant the bottle is with just a silver bow. I like the silver tone. My engagement ring and wedding ring are platinum, so it does match. I love Tiffany a lot, so I like that color. I like that it has these herringbone in the bottom, the herringbone pattern. I also like that this is etched in silver, eau de parfum. I just love everything about it. It's just so simple and so classy. I prefer bottles that are simple like this, and that's why I also like the Chanel bottles, because they're very simple, very elegant, with just the little stamp here on the glass in the middle, which is typical Chanel bottle. And you have this ribbon, white ribbon, and with gold edges and frosted cap. This is so beautiful. This is a lot of people do like that. Not everybody, obviously, but a lot of people do like Coco Mademoiselle. If you like, let's just say you have this and you want something a little bit similar to this, but not exactly the same, this would be like a sister smell to that, and vice versa. So that's why when I do see other videos of someone with a collection and they have one of those two, I'm very interested in the other collection, because I do the research and try to smell the ones that they had that I've never smelled before and think maybe I'm gonna like those too, just because I like Coco Mademoiselle and Miss Dior. Next is the Le Petit Robe Noir in the, I'm sorry, there was a, okay. So next is the Galas Le Petit Robe Noir in the Couture. This is the Couture Flanker. Okay, so next is Galas Le Petit Robe Noir, the Couture Flanker. I love this. To me, this is best suited. You can wear this any time of the year, actually, but best would be nighttime, date night. You want to feel extra sexy that day. I spritz this only once and it lasts on my clothes for days. And I will explain why these are the type of fragrances I am more into now. And I do use this a lot, and if you can see, I still have about 95% of the bottle. My newest is Dolce Garden. This is a flanker of Dolce by Dolce & Gabbana. This is what I'm wearing today. Oh my gosh, so I fell in love with this when I went to Macy's. And I tested it. They claimed they didn't have a tester, but I had a card and I kept it for days. Something happened to the card in which I couldn't smell it, but during the time, I couldn't stop thinking about it. It's so beautiful. It actually reminds me of Chris 1947. The bottle is just so beautiful. It has this blush tint to it. It's not completely pink. It has a pink bottle, like a baby pink. It says garden, but if you're expecting a rose garden or a flower garden or a white or kind of like a white light pink flower, you know what I mean? Like if it's a mixture of white florals plus a very light part of it is like roses and hydrangea maybe, or hyacinths, then this is nothing to do with the name at all. It smells sweet to me, sweet floral. So let me just read the notes from Fragrantica. It's vanilla, sweet, coconut, almond, floral, white floral. So Dolce & Gabbana, Dolce Garden comes out at the beginning of 2018 and opens a new chapter in the story of Dolce. Following the original from 2014, Dolce Floral drops from 2015, and Dolce Rosa Excelsa from 2016. Dolce Garden is a floral gourmand fragrance that is said to radiate the pleasure of fun experiences. That fits 100%. It is described as a fragrance of free thoughts and desires for fun experiences inspired by shades of the gardens of Sicily in bloom. This fits the bill. The person that I imagine, whoever is wearing this, is someone that radiates the pleasure of fun experiences. And it is a very floral gourmand. I never thought I would like floral gourmand, actually. Maybe I do. Quite honestly, I don't really like to read all these things. I just open the bottle, I smell it, and that's it. I'm not really a fragrance expert or connoisseur, so anyway, it then says, Dolce Garden opens with the white flowers, fresh and fruity notes, mandarin, magnolia, neroli, evoking Mediterranean sun. The heart includes petals of frangipani, ylang-ylang, and coconut, which are said to create an ultra-feminine and sunny aura. Fits 100%. In the base, the perfume turns slightly gourmand with vanilla, almond milk, and woods. Let me see. I smell the sweetness of the coconut. I don't smell a lot of creaminess, which is kind of strange because coconut is creamy. So the bottle of Dolce Garden is recognizable for the original shape, thick glass, curved lines, and a cap sculpted in the shape of a flower. Now in pink color, the fragrance is available in 30, 50, 75 ml, eau de parfum. So yeah, I did get the biggest one, which is 2.5 fluid ounces or 75 ml. And you can see right there. Oh, good gosh. You can see right there, the little pink. Yeah, there it is. Oh. I didn't want it to look like, because my shirt is pink. It has like a tint of pink over it. It's not overly pink like the other Dolce. It's got a hint of pink. I think it is the most perfect bottle. Like it fits. To me, it's so beautiful. I'm kind of wondering if I think I might still wear this in the fall, but it suits so perfectly in the spring, which I was also kind of looking for something like that. Coco Mademoiselle is also kind of a springy kind of scent, but Miss Dior, Coco Mademoiselle, the Petit Noir, Couture, and those three, I wear this any time of the year. I do choose in the colder months. I do lean towards these two more than Coco Mademoiselle. So we'll see what's going to happen with this as well. This has been my fragrance every day since I've had it. I love it. I love smelling myself. I have it on my sweater right here. oh my god, it smells so good. It just smells so good. I can't say anything more about it. It just, I did also have an unboxing on this, so anything that I'm talking about, all the links are going to be down below, so don't worry about that. If you have any questions, suggestions, advice, you want to talk to me about what is your current favorite of, or your current collection, and what is your most favorite, or what do you lean towards to? Is it by season, by time of day? Is it a feeling? Is it the occasion? Just, you know, if some people have like, I'm gonna wear this on my birthday every year, I'm gonna wear this at Christmas every year, you know what I mean? So anything like that, I would like to have any kind of suggestions on what you guys would love as well, because then I would like to smell them and do a episode of that in my fragrance series, as well as if I like it, I might get it. If I don't, then, you know, it's just not for me, but it is probably just for you, which is good. So please, you know, let me know down below. I love knowing about fragrances. And again, I would like to stick in this millennium as much as possible. The newer, the better. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like I want to stick to more current, I guess. I mean, Coco Mademoiselle is kind of older. It is in this millennium, but still, yeah. Thank you so much, guys, and I wish, you know, I wish you guys would share with me what your favorite fragrances are. If there's any of the fragrances that I mentioned before that you've also loved, tried, wanted, in your collection, feel free to let me know too. I'd love to know anyone else there that has the same taste as me. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you hit the like button, the subscribe button, as well as the bell, so you'll be notified every time I do have a new video uploaded. There should be links over here in regards to a few of my other videos, and I hope you do watch those as well. Thank you. Bye.